Hello, hello, ladies. How are you? It is once again a beautiful Monday at 11 o'clock. Time for Facebook Live. Hey, Gina, so glad that you're here to watch this. All right, so what are we going to do today on this Monday? Well, last week we did, or I did, I should say, I came up with, I thought it was a really interesting idea. Instead of me telling you exactly what we're going to do for this week's challenge, I challenged us to create our own workouts and take the moves that we had in our other challenges and create our own. And guess what? I love that idea, and I think there's great information in it, and it allows us to be our own sort of guru to put it together. And I think there was information in there that could really help you for a long time to be able to create your own workouts. But guess what, you guys? It went over like a lead balloon. I got very little, if any, engagement with that. So, and believe me, I understand that. Listen, we've got so much going on in our heads that trying to think about what move should I put into my workout is probably more than our poor stressed out brains can handle. So if you still like that idea, one of the things you can always do too is I have a great recorded class package on my Stretch Studio called 3 Moves to Transformation. 10 different classes, all of them are just 3 T-Tapp moves. Nothing's longer than 20 minutes. It's a great way to get in your movement in a short period of time, do your T-Tap, and off you go. So that was that. Now, one of the things that I really have noticed is the one challenge that we got the most amount of engagement in, arms. People love AB arms and butterflies. And I think one of the reasons for that is, listen, it doesn't take long to do a set of AB arms and butterflies. 3 minutes, you're out of here. You've done your challenge. So I get that too. So all that to say that I have some really cool new arm moves. We're going to do arms again next week with some moves that you might not have seen, kind of flowy. So that's something to look forward to. This week, however, let's just continue through. Find the challenge that you liked. Keep going. A lot of us haven't had a chance to even get through what we already have. So that's what we're going to do. Or just choose your favorite T-Tap move or workout, and that's what your challenge is for this week. Just move. So I decided today then what I would do is answer. I've gotten quite a few questions from a number of you about, I don't get this. What's this Gentle Somatic Stretch thing and T-Tap? Do you do them together? Do you do them separate? And why? Like, what is it? What are you doing with this thing? So I wanted to just give you a quick background on how I even came to this and why. So, I've been doing T-Tap for, we all know this, blah, 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 20 years. And I do it all the time, the same thing. And, T-Tap is very specific. It's very muscle activation. It's very, I'm going to use this Eastern term, very yang. So the reason that I'm mentioning this is because, in life, as in your movement and what you're doing for your, I'm going to just call it your movement routine. I like that so much better than your exercise or workout, which sounds so hard. It's really important to create balance. Right. So when we're creating workouts or movement programs, you want to really think about how can we have balance all the way around, meaning like everything we do on the right side, we do on the left side. If you're doing a lot of up, you want to do down, and you want to do stability, stand on one leg, you're stable, so that you can then have mobility. So there's stability, mobility. So there's balance in all of this. And there should also be balance in Eastern terms, yin and yang, okay? Yin and yang. So yang is T-Tap. T-Tap's very yang. It's very militaristic, right? Very muscle activation. As opposed to flowy, like a Tai Chi would be very yin, okay? So actually Tai Chi can be both, but you know what I'm saying. It's very flowy. And so a workout really needs to have the combination. If you're just T-tapping, what can happen is you can really get very locked up. And that's really what was happening to me over years. I'm doing it every day, all the time. It's the same movements. And my body just started to really lock up. And I'm telling you, it must have been 2 years straight. I had the tightest right hamstring. I was in pain a lot, but you know what? I didn't have time. I wasn't going to stop teaching it. So I would just get down. You can imagine a tight hamstring, and every day I'm hinging over to my flat back going, oh my God, this is killing me. And of course, when your hamstring is tight, it hurts your hip and lower back, right? It's all connected. So I would go to the chiropractor. He'd adjust me. I'd be good for all of 10 minutes. I'd get a massage. I'd be good for maybe half an hour, and back it would go. And so I decided to go on a deep dive and figure out, how can I release this? I know there's a way. And so in my deep dive, I really found quite a few mentors, people who were just brilliant at really understanding how to move the body, how to unlock joints. And the thing that was so fascinating is, here's something that I've learned and really put into my body and teach, and that is the brain is what is really connected to your muscle. It tells the muscles what to do. So keep that in mind. If you are not using and working something through the brain, the muscle's just going to keep going back tight, right? You can release it. Yeah, it'll do it. But if you don't tell the brain to change the length, it's going to bring it right back. Now, why is that? There is something that we have, and I'm going to explain this to you. It's really fascinating, called ta-da, adaptation. Now, adaptation isn't just in your muscles. We have adaptation in so many different areas using all the senses. So here's a question, right? Have you ever found that you go and you eat your favorite little, I'll just say, because for me it's chocolate, right? Chocolate ice cream. And the first couple bites of that chocolate ice cream, oh my goodness, it just tastes so terrific. And so, of course, we eat, and by the 5th and 6th and 7th bite, yeah, you're still enjoying the creamy and maybe the coldness, but it doesn't taste quite as much, does it? Because the tongue starts to adapt to the taste. You no longer actually taste the way it did on the first couple. It adapts. How about smell? This is a really interesting one. If you ever walked into a room, whether it's a great smell or not such a great smell, over time, 5-10 minutes, you're not really even noticing the tell. We have a smell fatigue, it's called. That's really just the brain adapting to this new level. Same thing with the body. So I want you to think about this. What have we done for so much of our time recently? We're sitting and we're hunching. So over time, the brain adapts and thinks this is your new normal. Now you get up and you want to go move, but the body's like, no, this is the new normal. Here's the interesting thing. The brain doesn't get that you're hunched and you're tight up in your hip flexors. It's adapted to that new normal. And you're going to keep doing it without even thinking, because when you look, that adaptation even comes through a lot of times in your eyes. You don't even see it or realize it until you've got pain, right? Until that right hamstring is so darn tight, I'm in pain all the time. Until you've got tech neck and your neck is tight, et cetera, okay? So the only way that we're going to be able to come back into a more normal lengthened position with our muscles, we've got to figure out how to change the brain to body connection and release out that adaptive muscle tension. There you have it. Okay, now that starts to make a little bit of sense, right? Now, let's take that right to T-Tapp. Okay, so put what I just said aside. Now we're going into T-Tapp. Why, when you use somatic stretch, does it also help and give you better results with T-Tapp? This is why. I'm going to do it from an upper body and from a lower body standpoint. Upper body. All right, so here we are. We're hunched. We don't even realize we're hunched, okay? But we're like this. We're locked up in this mid-back, because when you're here, those muscles lengthen. They're strong here. And you might even notice, whether it's yourself or somebody else that's like this, you put your hands here and it is like cement, hard as a rock because it's been stretched out to be like that. Now we're going to go do our little army pumps, right? So we bring our arms back like this, and we're like, yeah, I can do it. Do you see the difference? I'm like forward, I'm lifting, I'm like nothing's really happening. I'm not really feeling much, but okay, these are arm pumps, and I'm gonna, with my head forward, I'm gonna do all of this, and I'm wondering why I'm not getting a whole lot out of it. But I don't even realize that my shoulders are rolled forward, okay? But now think, if I can open up in my neck and shoulders, this is some of the things that we do with somatic stretch, using specific brain to body movements to let the brain go, oh, okay, I can open up here. Now I'm gonna roll my shoulders back, and I'm gonna go like this. And now I am going to lift the girls, and I'm gonna pump from here. Now I'm working the muscles in the breast that hold it up. My shoulders are back and down. I'm getting rid of bra pudge because I'm working in here, okay? So in order to get the most out of it, we need to learn how to open up here. And it's not even a learn how, it's we need to get that brain to understand that this is not where we want to be normally. We want to open it up into here. So I have very specific moves that are terrific that can really help you open up in there. How about mid-thoracic, which is your mid-back? Again, we're like this, right? So even when we go here, we're just not moving. When I say to people, can you feel your lats? Get the lats up. Well, in order to get the lats up, you have to be able to move in here, okay? So lots of things that we do, even in somatics, where we open up, okay, and learn how to get in there and open up in that mid-back. So now you can do all of this, and now you can really get rid of your bra pudge. So that's a little bit of upper body and why the somatic stretch really helps. Now, I want to talk to you really quickly. The somatic, you might have noticed or not, because you're not paying all that much attention, right? But I've changed the name of this class several times, even though the class is still pretty much the same. Why? When I first did my deep dive into stretch and how we can use it to open up, the first mentor that I had her name was Meredith Sons-Keeter. She's brilliant, and she and her mother, who was a prima ballerina, one of the founding members of the Canadian Ballet, and they created this incredible program called Somatic Stretch, which is really working with the stretch reflex, and it really allows us to go inside the body and listen to the body's messages so that we are only stretching right to a place where we feel right about where that stretch reflex is about to kick in. And we pause there, relax, and allow the body to lengthen its own. So you have to be able to go inside and listen to the body. And Meredith has also taught me so much about the pelvis and how that pelvis is, in between. It's foundational for the top and the bottom, and how to have really good movement in there and how it all works together. So I learned a lot, and I was calling the class Somatic Stretch based on that. But I have to tell you, there were still things that were not releasing for me. Still, I would watch people, and I found that that's a tricky thing for us to really go in and listen. We're not used to it, are we? We're out here all the time, and it's like, I don't want to slow everything down and listen. I don't even know what that means. So some people got great results, and then I could see there was just kind of a lot of confusion. And even for myself, I still wasn't getting the kinds of releases on certain parts that I wanted. So I continued my search, and I ended up finding James Knight, who has a program called Gentle Somatic Yoga. Yes, now, it is not yoga. There is no yoga in the yoga class, okay? But what James did was, he had studied for years all different types of movement programs. So he did somatic education and bioenergetics, and he was a body-based psychotherapist, and he put lots of different things into this, and I'm, all the way up to a level 2 certified, learned so much. And found that as I was working with people, I really loved the combination. So in my classes, I combine a lot of these different things that I've learned into one, so that we're really able to get a combination of all of those. That being said, There is no yoga in gentle somatic yoga. And so what I found was people that wanted yoga would come and they're like, where's the yoga? There was no yoga. Other people are like, I hate yoga. I don't want to do yoga. So I'm not going to do the class. So the yoga word was kind of controversial. So I took the yoga word out. And that's why I'm calling it gentle somatic stretch. All that to say, it's incredible. So now we're combining the ability for the brain to release those muscles. That's somatic education. And that's the part of it that really uses the neurology to help release. And boy, howdy, does it. It really, really works. When I learned some of those somatic hamstring releases, listen, I released that right hamstring the first time I did it. I was, oh my God, like I could just feel it. I couldn't believe it. Now, did it stay for a long time? No, I had to do that. I did it twice a day, but I will tell you about a week and a half into it, it's gone, and I have not ever had that right hamstring problem come back again. That's how powerful it is. That's why I really love to share this program. And you guys have seen on there that people come on and always give me lots, and you all, their experience, like, oh my goodness, my migraines are done, my shoulders feel better, my hips not hurting me anymore. Got to use the neurology. So that being said, now I want to keep bringing it back to why does that help you with T-Tapp? Because if you can unlock your joints, now you can get greater ranges of motion when you do the more activated muscles. It's the yin and the yang. Yeah, you're starting to get it. So I want to show you one specific move. Now, we all do our hoedowns, right? We love us our hoedowns. So let me show you how this can help your hoedowns, okay? Now, I'm going to do the side because that's really it. Let's assume, pretty big assumption, that most of us are pretty locked up in these hips. We are tight, tight, tight all in here, okay? Because most of us are, because what do most of us do? We sit. And so those psoas and hip flexor muscles that attach from here to the back of the spine are locked up like this. And even when we stand, we're locked, okay? So it's so important to open. The same thing with an opening out like this, right? So let me show you what I see a lot of people doing. When we lift to the side, let me show you what it should, I hate that. But the way that Teresa designed this was to open up in the hip, because her whole thing was you want to be able to tighten and tone in here, right? So if you want to tighten and tone in here, you've got to get that an outward open, like we would do, say, in like crab claws, same thing. So let me go to the side. So when she taught it, right, she would say, open so that that knee is behind the shoulder. So it's not here, okay, it's here to the back. This is what it looks like from the side. Most of us are going to go here to the front because we can't open. We're too locked up in our hips, okay? So we're here. When I say to people, okay, get the knee back, watch what happens to this in my hip. The only way that you can get that hip back, right, that leg back, is by moving the hip because you're locked up. And then the standing leg rolls in, and we do this. Now, you can do this, and you're not going to feel the activation here in terms of tightening and toning, right? So the more that you can open up in that hip, the more range of motion you're going to get. And now you can really do it and really unlock in here and tighten and tone. And it's going to tighten and tone in both. So that's the whole idea of the yin and the yang. So I want to show you one floor move. This is new. You haven't seen this one before. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to get on the floor to show this to you. I'm going to drop my camera. Now, as I'm talking, I just want to say this particular move, while some of them that I do are stretches, this is not a stretch. This is a slow release. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get ourselves onto the ground and onto the floor. Yes, you guys can see this. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to have to put my head down and not look at you for this one. So I'm just going to be down. I'm going to help you bring your legs up bent in alignment with your hips. Nice, nice. Now, I'm going to take my one leg that I'm going to work. I'm only going to do one because then you can do it yourself. And I'm going to bring that foot so that it's next to the other foot. Now notice when you do that, the foot's actually in the center of your body. All right, so again, we're going to be releasing like inner thigh and up in that hip, okay? So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to slowly open the leg out about 2/3 the way of where I could go. Okay, like I could drop it all the way out now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to slowly take it out to right about there. And then I'm going to put my hand right here on the inside groin so I can feel my inner thigh muscle and my groin. That just gives the brain a place to focus, okay? So now all I'm going to do is, these are done very slowly, by the way. Remember, this is not a stretch, it's a slow release. I'm going to lift that leg up slowly about 2 inches. And I'm going to stop for a second. And now I'm going to slowly, super slowly, I'm going to drop it back that same 2 inches and maybe another one. So I'm a little bit further down than I was when I started. And I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bring the knee up a couple inches, and your hand will feel the activation of those muscles. And then I'm going to super slowly drop it down again, maybe another inch past that. Pause. I'm going to do it one more time. You want to ideally do it about 3 times. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. And again, your hand will feel the engagement of the muscle. And then I'm going to slowly drop it down. Now, because I'm very tight here, and most of us are, you might find the drop to be choppy, okay? It'll just like chop, chop, chop. So if that's the case, slow it down even more. See if you can let it go out till it's smooth. The choppy indicates what we call sensory motor, which is the sensory motor part of our brain, amnesia, meaning the brain is like, what? It forgets. So we're bringing it back online. So you take it down just a little bit more. Now notice I'm still not all the way down, but I'm pretty close. And then I'm just going to relax it here. It'll open. And then I'm just going to slide it down and relax there. And you're not going to believe how much more open you're going to feel in that leg. Now, ideally, you'll bring it up, you'll do the other side too. But for right now, I'm just going to do that. Now I'm going to roll over on my side and come up. Because if you're doing this with me, I want you to feel this. Let me lift my camera back up again. And now I'm going to do that hoe down again on that side, okay? And once you've opened it, now see, oh my goodness, it's just amazing how much more you can get. So now you can just open that. You can really turn that knee out. Remember, standing knee goes to the little toe. And now I have much more range of motion there. Okay, so it's kind of fun to do one, do that side hoe down so you really get that sense. The brain loves comparison. That's how it learns. Isn't that interesting? It learns through comparison, it learns through pleasure, and it learns through having fun and laughter. So don't get frustrated with this. Then you'll do the other side, come up and do it maybe once a day if you're really tight, because people are like, well, I should just be able to do it once and that's it. No, because every day, what do? We go back into this. So we have to keep unwinding and continuing to practice the opposite in order to keep our bodies up and feeling so much better. It's amazing. And that's why I say the two together are beautiful. Doing T-Tapp will really help you engage muscle, get stronger, get fit, get tight and toned. And the somatic work will help keep you open, okay? Open and moving so that you have better, bigger range of motion and just feel so much better and looser in your body. Yin and Yang. That's the important thing. So I would love it if you would try this, get on the floor, try that particular opening, and let me know. Let's comment to tell me that yes, you absolutely noticed and that it made a difference. So I hope this was helpful for our Monday Facebook Live. Thank you girls so much for being on. I said hi to Gina. Hi Renee, good to see you girl. And Julie and Jane, I appreciate you guys being on so much. And we'll see you again soon. Take good care and have a beautiful week. By the way, please, please, please stay safe. I know we're so tired of it, but now is when we really have to double down and really take good care of ourselves and our families. Blessings.